What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you my tournament recap of my final weighted tournament for Season 2 in the Sylph Arena. Now, if you don't know what the Sylph Arena is, it is a third-party organization that hosts these really fun metas each month, which create for some really unique tournaments, and I highly recommend that once Season 3 rolls around. I think we have next month off, and then Season 3 should be starting. Definitely check out Sylph, head on over to sylph.gg and participate in some of these fun tournaments. It's always a show 6 pick 3 format, so you'll see that as I go through these videos here. But this was the FP Sticks Battle Royale Catacombs tournament, and this was my weighted. I ended up going 5-2 in this tournament, playing against some really tough competitors, and so we're just going to be kind of walking through how these matchups went, what my thought process was the whole time. If you appreciate these kind of longer tournament recap videos, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you all had a great Go Fest. I'm definitely thinking about doing a Go Fest recap video, but let's get into this. Unfortunately, this first match, I was a little bit late to the recording here, but this first round is up against CS Height. And you can see my team. I'm running Frostlass, Beedrill, Umbreon, Lapras, Venusaur, and Sudowoodo. And CS Height is running Lapras, Sudowoodo, Jumpluff, Umbreon, Vespiquen, and Zweilous. So double dark types, as well as having Lapras and Vespiquen. My Sudowoodo is definitely going to have a lot of positive matchups against their team. I essentially, you'll see this, I never lead Umbreon, at least I don't think I lead it in any of these matches here. I always utilize Umbreon as a safe swap, and I very rarely give it shields unless I've really lost the lead really hard and I need to regain switch advantage. So I now have Sudowoodo on the Vespiquen, which is favorable for me. However, these bug type moves will be hitting for neutral damage. I also put Frostlass in the back, and an Avalanche is going to do so much damage to the Vespiquen. It will hit for super effective. Nice thing about Frostlass is it, because of the ghost typing, it does resist these bug type moves, but a power gem would definitely hit for a lot of damage. Even though I'm in a shield deficit here, I'm still feeling pretty comfortable. I just need to make sure that, well, I'm able to take out the Vespiquen, so that's fine for me. Out comes Lapras. And he makes a really nice swap in a Sudowoodo to catch this Shadow Ball, like really solid play. But at this point I can just go straight for the Avalanche here, see if they want a shield. I get the last shield, they're really good for me, and because I have the Rock Slide stored, I go for the combo play, and this Rock Slide will be able to take out the Lapras there. Good game. Looks like I'm going with Lapras, Sudowoodo, and Venusaur, so hoping to catch a Vespiquen or Zweilous lead. I catch an Umbreon, which isn't, it's not the worst. This is definitely playable. If I were to stay in this matchup, I'd probably just go straight Skull Bash here, but I think I might try to catch a move. Gonna let the energy come through. And my opponent actually switches into their own Lapras, which is kind of an interesting play. I get the shield with the Skull Bash, and now I can just safely bring in Venusaur here. Most Lapras in this Catacomb Cup are running Surf and Skull Bash as the charge moves. I absolutely demolished the Lapras with the Frenzy Plant there. The foul play is going to be coming through, but I am totally fine here. The Frenzy Plants do so much damage to Umbreon as well. It's pretty nuts. Venusaur is definitely one of the top picks in this Catacombs Cup. If you guys still have your weighted Catacombs tournament that you still need to do, I would highly suggest like a core 3 or 4 Pokemon of Umbreon, Lapras, Venusaur, and Sudowoodo. Absolutely super strong. I didn't bring in Frostlass or Beedrill that frequently in this tournament. I really stuck with Umbreon, Lapras, Venusaur, and Sudowoodo. Lapras is amazing because even against some of its bad counters, like Sudowoodo, you're able to hit back with some super effective damage with Surf. So this is really great. Down goes the Sudowoodo. It's the Umbreon in the back. I still have 2 shields. This is totally fine. And I'm just going to be able to bring out my own Sudowoodo. I don't even need a shield to any of this, and I'm just going to be able to counter down the Umbreon and take this second game here. And then we will be always playing out a third game. Lapras lead again. Then it looked like Sudowoodo and Venusaur. Amazing lead for me. I noticed that he was most likely going to be bringing his Vespiquen back in for this final round because it had a lot of play for him in the first round. So I was able to predict that. Power Gem comes through, but it's non-stab. Vespiquen doesn't have a very high attack stat, so I'm fine with Lapras tanking it. And honestly, I just need to get this Vespiquen out of here now because I don't want my Venusaur to see it at all. And looking at his team, Vespiquen and Zweilous are kind of the two hard responses to Venusaur. But once those get out of the picture, Venusaur has a lot of play. So I'm going to be able to get the Venusaur aligned with the Sudowoodo, which is great for me. Now, Sudowoodo knows Rock Slide and Earthquake. I do correctly shield up the Earthquake. But honestly, I feel like just like straight Rock Slide in that matchup is the way to go. Anyways, Earthquake, you don't get stab on it, even though, yes, I think it does hit for a little bit more damage. It's way more energy. I think Rock Slide is way more efficient because both Rock Slide and Earthquake hit for neutral damage because of Venusaur's grass and poison typing. Favorable position for me here. Sudowoodo does not resist the Dragon Breath from Zweilous, but the counters are hitting for super effective. He's going to bring out his own Sudowoodo to farm me down. Very unfortunate, but I'm just going to bring out my Venusaur. And again, I think he goes for the Earthquake here. It's not enough to KO, and I'm able to Vine Whip down the Sudowoodo. Alright, round 2 is up against Fulvio D7. Good game's my first opponent, CS Height. He's rocking Venusaur, Alolan Graveler, Umbreon, Sudowoodo, Vespiquen, Lapras. Vespiquen was a very hard Pokemon for me to deal with in this tournament, so let's see how I handle it. And again, this first battle is clipped a little bit. We miss out on the first little part, but it's just a Lapras mirror match. And it looks like I'm up in shields, which is totally fine. I'm able to land the Skull Bash. This is definitely going to be another Skull Bash coming through. So I will shield it up. Ideally, you kind of want to shield up the first Skull Bash because that's going to be the one that hits for the most damage. And then I get way too greedy and over farm here. Luckily, it was just a Surf. And then I go for no bubbles on this Surf because I want to be able to farm down the Lapras. And it looks like I'm just able to do it with Ice Shards. Really great. Didn't have to take any more damage. So I have switch advantage. That Alolan Graveler is going to come out, but it's not going to appreciate this Surf damage at all. I get a shield, and I'm able to get to a second Surf because of the Skull Bash defense boost. That's pretty huge. I got the last shield, and I just chipped it down, so I'm going to aggressively switch into my Venusaur here. I will shield up the Stone Edge. I figured they were going to go for the heavy hitting move. I'm able to Vine Whip it down. I'm in a very favorable position here. Vespiquen is only able to hit for neutral damage, again because of Venusaur's bug and poison typing. These bug type attacks are only hitting for neutral damage. Sludge Bomb really does a nice chunk. Vespiquen, as we know, is extremely tanky. I'm able to get to this last second Frenzy Plant and have a pretty confident win here in the first game. Good game there. Looks like Sudowoodo, Umbreon, and Venusaur for this. Sudowoodo lead into a Lapras, totally fine for me. However, I am going to have to commit my shields first because that Lapras outpaces me to the Surf. But you can see the super effective counter damage that Sudowoodo is throwing is really adding up. And over farming here, I'm counting my opponent's Ice Shards. I know that they're like pretty much right out of Surf. And then I switch in my Umbreon to catch this Surf. You're going to see me use Umbreon to catch moves all day long in this tournament. They now bring out their own Umbreon to mirror. I have a slight energy advantage. So the fact that they brought out their own Umbreon to mirror makes me think that they're not running Sudowoodo in the back. And it makes me think that they might also not be running Vespiquen in the back, because those are definitely harder punishes to an Umbreon switch in. Mirroring with another Umbreon, you know, is kind of the safer play. So they could have most likely either Venusaur or Alolan Graveler. That's kind of my thought process right now. These Umbreon mirror matches just take forever, man. I'm totally going to let this go. Unfortunately, the Umbreon's going to be able to snarl me down, I believe. I'm able to get to this last resort. I doubt it's going to get shielded. And then I'm going to get farmed down, which is unfortunate. Oh, we actually simultaneously KO. Perks of having a very good IV Umbreon there. And then I just make a guess, and I bring out my Venusaur, assuming that they might bring out their third Pokemon as well. It was the Alolan Graveler, so we correctly read that, and I'm in a very favorable position now. Venusaur is going to have a lot of play because it's going to do well against this Alolan Graveler and the Lapras. So this is the move that's going to hit for the most damage, so I will shield this up. Lapras, there's the aggressive switch into Lapras. I'm just going to switch into my own Sudowoodo, be able to get this Rock Slide off, and the Alolan Graveler is kind of screwed here because the counters are hitting for super effective. Venusaur is going to hit for super effective with the Frenzy Plant. They do a very nice over farm there. Stone Edge is just enough to take me out, but because I saved my energy on Venusaur, I'm able to throw this Frenzy Plant and take out the Graveler. Good game there. Going into a third game, I've been bringing the Frostlass spice a little bit. Frostlass in the lead. Let's see how it goes. This is favorable for me, especially since my Frostlass has kind of a high attack IV. It doesn't have the best PvP IVs, so I know that I'm going to be able to win CMP, and then I might make a dirty swap right here. Yep, I switch into Umbreon to catch the Frenzy Plant. I'm already at a shield advantage, and whenever you run Frostlass or Glass Cannon-y type Pokemon like that, if you can get a shield advantage, you're really going to be able to do a lot of stuff. So that's kind of my thought process here. Unfortunately, Vespiquen comes out to greet the Umbreon. Not super great for me. However, Vespiquen does not resist these dark type charge moves, so we're just throwing foul plays. It is chipping away. The Vespiquen has to throw the energy right here, and I'm still not going to shield. At this point, I'm going to bring out my Frostlass, and I think I go for a crazy aggressive Powder Snow farm down here. I will shield this up. I knew that he was over farming the entire time for those X Scissors. I was able to correctly block the Power Gem, and this Frostlass is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I for sure can get to 2 Shadow Balls here, and so that's what I'm going to do. Most likely going to have to shield up the Surf. But we know that the Venusaur is out of energy, right? Because we did that dirty swap in the beginning. Out comes Venusaur. We're down in shields. They have to... I'm pretty sure I stored an Avalanche, but they have to over farm and bank 2 Frenzy Plants here. I'm doing a really good job at counting my moves on Sudowoodo. Frenzy Plant comes through, takes me out. I have an Avalanche stored. This is for sure going to take out the Venusaur. And then there's the Lapras again. I'm able to get to this Shadow Ball because I just barely was able to overfarm in the previous matchup and able to take that, able to take the second round. We are currently 2-0 in the tournament. My round 3 opponent is Dareal Pete, rocking Zweilous, Vespiquen, Frostlass, Gloom, Shiftry, and Alolan Graveler. No Venusaur and no Umbreon. Very interesting team, so let's see how we play around this here. Umbreon is amazing. Oh, I brought in Beedrill, so I'm pretty sure I lose this game. I feel like every time I freaking bring in Beedrill, it just goes horribly. And so obviously, like, Zweilous is hitting Umbreon here for neutral damage the entire time, while Umbreon's hitting for resisted damage with the Snarl. Luckily, Umbreon, if you are running Umbreon with Last Resort, which you definitely should be, you're able to hit with some nice neutral damage here. And Umbreon's tankiness is just absolutely busted. It's why you see me using it as a safe swap almost every single game here, and I'm just essentially catching a bunch of moves on Umbreon. I'm just totally fine with it. This Body Slam is still not able to take me out, and so I'm going to end this matchup in a shield advantage, which is amazing. That should not happen. Like, I'm hitting for resisted damage while they're hitting for neutral, and Umbreon still comes out with a shield advantage. It's just so strong. I'm not going to shield my Beedrill because I'm not sure how much play it's going to have. I do have a lot of energy stored. Out comes Frostlass. I'm just going to go straight for the Drill Run here. And it does connect, which is pretty huge. Going to bring out my Sudowoodo. Oh my gosh. Double shielded Sudowoodo. That's kind of a tongue twister. Is going to for sure be my win scenario here. I will threaten the last shield. And then at this point, I'm probably going to fast move this down and have a Rock Slide to threaten the Frostlass. Oh, this is unfortunate. I'm pretty sure this is just a Rock Blast. Oh, it is a Stone Edge, so I shielded up. Oh, this was a misclick. I did not mean to click on this rock slide. Oh man, so I undercharge it, get one more counter in. But the Frostlass is going to dump energy. I sack swap my Beedrill, which is really good for me. But look, my opponent had 2 avalanches. I did not mean to click the rock slide. Huge mistake on my part. So that's the first game that we've lost so far. Let's see if we can turn it around. Looks like, oh, I'm running the same line of 3. Why the heck am I bringing in Beedrill? I guess because of the Shift Tree and the Gloom and the Zweilous. Makes sense. Okay, this is a favorable matchup for me, but dude, Beedrill is so glassy. So they get their Frostlass switch locked against my Umbreon, which is just the dream scenario for me. Because essentially I can just throw one foul play and snarl it all the way down and have stored up energy for whatever's going to come in, which is most likely going to be the Zweilous. But fine by me, because I'm going to be able to most likely get 2 last resorts off on Zweilous, which is really going to chip it away. And I leave my Umbreon with minimal health to be farmed. So very favorable scenario for me. Oh, they brought out their Alolan Graveler, and I clicked the freaking last resort. What a mistake. Okay, so they brought out their Alolan Graveler. They're going to farm me down with this. I know that they still have the Frostlass. So I'm going to aggressively, no, they still have the Zweilous, what am I saying? At this point, I know that, again, Sudowoodo is going to be my key to success here. So I just saved my shields for Sudowoodo. The counter damage is hitting Zweilous for super effective damage because of the dark typing that Zweilous has. These rock slides are really going to add up. Rock slide's a great move. Sudowoodo gets stab on it as well. At this point, this is just a body slam, but so I will let it through, and I'm barely going to survive. Not able to counter it down, unfortunately. I'm actually kind of in a tricky spot here, but I'm going to bring out Beedrill because I have full health. No, I'm not in a tricky spot. I'm totally fine, man. We for sure have to shield this up, though, because that would hit for super effective damage. I feel like Rock Blast wouldn't one-hit KO, but it would do a lot of damage. Beedrill is pretty glassy. We're able to take that second game. Game 3, Lapras, Umbreon, Venusaur. Because he also, they also don't have a Sudowoodo on their team. So this is a pretty safe line. Okay, favorable lead for me, but the Surfs are going to be resisted. The Dragon Breath is adding up, man. Oh my gosh. If this is a Dark Pulse, it's going to hurt a lot. So I get baited with Body Slam, which is really unfortunate. And I am farming up a lot here. Gonna throw the Surf Bait. I get the shield, good for me. Gonna throw another Surf, but this is not gonna be enough to take out the Zweilous. Barely not enough. And at this point, I'm like, oh man, do I survive a Dark Pulse at this range? I do not. I lose the lead. I think I'm going to bring out Venusaur because I'm just going to assume that Zweilous was their only Venusaur counter in this line. And it essentially was, because Venusaur with an energy advantage beats Frostlass pretty cleanly here. You'll see the Vine Whips really add up. And then I aggressively switch in my Umbreon. It's an Alolan Graveler in the back. We're still looking fine, but we need to keep in mind that that Frostlass does essentially have like an Avalanche stored. Umbreon with an energy advantage is so nasty. Even if this is Stone Edge, it's fine. Which, again, most people go for the heavy-hitting move right away against Umbreon because it makes sense. No Umbreon is really going to shield when it's at like full health like that. We have a shield advantage. Totally looking good here. I'm still not going to shield this. I know Venusaur is going to be my key to victory here. And I'm going to be able to get off another foul play. Really good for me. Probably going to aggressively switch in Venusaur right here. I do not want to be farmed down. Oh, well, shields are down, so I was able to take it out. There's no way they're at 2 avalanches, so I just need to shield this up and Vine Whip it down, and we will take round 3. We are currently 3-0, going into the 4th round, going up against Ninja of Ice here, rocking Umbreon, Frostlass, Sceptile. Very interesting. You always need to wonder what second charge move Sceptile has. It's most likely running Leaf Blade. Is it running Fury Cutter or Bullet Seed as a fast move? Skuntank is pretty interesting, has decent play against Umbreon, and then Lapras and Sudowoodo. Let's see how we handle this. Venusaur into Umbreon. This is a playable matchup for sure. But in the majority of these games, I kind of like to aggressively switch in and most likely catch stuff on my Umbreon. So I'm over farming here. The Frenzy Plants are going to do a lot of damage, but I think this is a matchup that Umbreon has a lot of play in. So I'm able to catch my, this foul play with my own Umbreon, which is great. Out comes Sudowoodo. And as you can see, this is technically a good matchup for Sudowoodo, right? But I just never commit any shields here, and the foul plays do add up. Sometimes, depending on how much my opponent is over farming, I might commit a shield, just if I know that I can burn some shields on their end. Because as you can see, that Sudowoodo is in foul play range, and they have to throw their energy here. They can't farm me down, which is really beautiful, because now I can farm them down with whatever I want here. I will go for the Venusaur. Purely going to farm them down. They just gave up switch advantage. Their Frostlass is now stuck. Going to burn a shield with this Frenzy Plant. Going to burn the second shield with this Frenzy Plant. And then a double shielded Sudowoodo is going to have a party. Even if there's a Sceptile in the back, Rock Slide's still going to hit for a decent amount of damage. I shield up the Avalanche. I really need to get to this Rock Slide. This Frostlass is really putting a hurt on my shields here. Able to take it out. I still have a shield. Looking good. Out comes the Umbreon again. It's going to chip me down. So I'm really curious as to what is in the back. Could be their own Sudowoodo. I still have a shield, but I'm getting nervous here. It is their own Sudowoodo. Oh, it is their own Sudowoodo, and I counted it down. Yep. Silly me. It is kind of late when I'm making this video. Sudowoodo into Lapras. Okay, again, Sudowoodo has to commit their shields first, which is unfortunate. But the counter damage is hitting for super effective. The Surf will hurt, so I will shield it up. And then I'm going to overfarm. And throw the Rock Slide here. See if I get a shield. I do get a shield, and then I'm going to aggressively switch into Umbreon once again. It's probably a Surf. So they're just chipping away, and then out comes Sudowoodo. Essentially, throwing the Surf onto my Umbreon was total wasted energy, because Sudowoodo handles this matchup just fine without the damage advantage. So I just burned the energy on that Lapras for free, which is really great for me. Now, this Rock Slide is going to put me into farm down range with counter, which is unfortunate. I'm able to get to this foul play, which is huge. Umbreon as a switch in is just stupid busted. So I'm going to aggressively switch into my Venusaur and tank this Rock Slide. Out comes Frostlass. I am up a shield. We are looking good. I overfarmed just a little bit. This Frenzy Plant is barely not going to take it out, and then I need to Vine Whip this thing down. Do I shield this up and then try to Vine Whip? No, I'm going to let it go. Then I'm going to bring out my own Sudowoodo to counter it down before Frostlass gets to another move. We're looking good. We know they still have their own Sudowoodo, which is very low, so we need to be aware of the sacrificial swap. Shields are down. See you later, Lapras, and I'm able to counter down the Sudowoodo. Good game there. Looks like I'm going Sudowoodo, Umbreon, Venusaur. And, oh my gosh, the Sceptile comes out. So I'm just going to switch into my Umbreon. It is a Fury Cutter Sceptile, so they're hitting me for super effective damage with Fury Cutter. It's probably going to... They're rocking Frenzy Plant. Oh my gosh, Frenzy Plant. And what is the second charge move then? That's the big question. Yikes, that Frenzy Plant hit for so much damage. Sceptile is very glassy. So again, just going to be throwing these foul plays on the Sudowoodo. It can't counter me down. It cannot counter me all the way down without committing a shield. So puts me in a good scenario. I am up a shield, but most likely they're going to get those shields back. They still have the Sceptile, so I kind of have to bring out my Sudowoodo here. Okay, he makes a really good play. Yeah, goes for the Rock Slide. I was very worried about an Earthquake. And then I aggressively bring in my Venusaur here. I don't quite know why. To absorb a Rock Slide. Really don't understand that play at all. I should have just let that Rock Slide go on my Sudowoodo, because there's no way that he would have had a Rock Slide and an Earthquake. So very interesting. I'm just going to let my Venusaur go, I guess. Counter down the Frostlass. But Sceptile is going to be a monster to deal with. These Frenzy Plants hit for so much damage, it for sure would one-shot Sudowoodo. For sure. This is a Frenzy Plant. It's just absolutely going to wreck me. It's a Dragon Claw. They're running Dragon Claw Frenzy Plant. What an interesting moveset for the Catacombs Cup. able to take out the Sceptile. There's the own Sudowoodo in the back, and I'm able to counter it down. We are currently 4-0 in this tournament, in this 7-round tournament. My round 5 opponent is up against Dunebug 97, rocking Skuntank, Venusaur, Lapras. That's supposed to be in a Lowland Graveler. He just put it in wrong. Umbreon and Vespiquen. Let's see how we handle this. Dunebug, as you can see, is higher rated than me, so it's going to be an intense battle. Favorable lead for me. I'm hitting for super effective damage. Looks like he's staying in here, maybe trying to catch something. I'm wondering if he's running Wild Charge. I get a shield there, and this is something I should have noticed sooner, but you're going to see this in all 3 battles that I play against him. He shields very early. He commits shields extremely early, so I should have taken a mental note of that and tried like more shield baiting strats with this, because he really prioritizes switch advantage. He commits those shields pretty early. I'm fine with eating a Rock Blast, because now he's probably going to bring out Vespiquen onto my Venusaur. Yep, he does, which is a pretty solid counter to my Venusaur. So I'm just going to throw the Sludge Bomb to try to chip away at this Vespiquen. Sludge Bomb connects, does a nice chunk of damage. This Vespiquen is going to go on a spree, man. So I know that he's already recognizing that Vespiquen is going to be the key to victory here. So I'm getting a little nervous. I don't want to have to commit shield to my Umbreon if I don't have to. I know that he farmed extra energy, so his Vespiquen still has loaded energy. I'm going to let this Frenzy Plant go through. I do not want to get Vine Whipped down by this Venusaur, but I'm worried that it might happen, and that's definitely a smart plan his part if he does that. He's doing it. He's gonna farm me all the way down, burn my shields, and so I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna aggressively switch into my own Venusaur because I know he's going for the farm down. He baits me with Frenzy Plant. I'm in such a tricky scenario here. I don't want to have to commit another shield from this Venusaur, so I'm gonna throw the Frenzy Plant there. He saves his shield for Vespiquen, which is such a smart play. This Vespiquen has so much energy, as you can see. I'm gonna shield up this X-Scissor. But he has another X-Scissor stored. Really nice over farming the entire time. X-Scissor's not able to take me out. Even worse for me because he's able to Fury Cutter me down, and then Umbreon's just going to get melted here. I had a favorable position in the lead, but I did not have a response to Vespiquen in the back. So poor lineup composition on my part. Going with Sudowoodo, Umbreon, and Lapras. Let's see how we adapt here. Dunebug, really solid battler. Okay, favorable lead for me. I figured he would bring the Vespiquen again because it did so well in the previous matchup. So I'm wondering if he's going to try to catch something. This is only an X-Scissor. It's only going to hit for neutral. He's staying in. This Rock Slide's going to be double super effective. He's going to shield this because, again, he commits shields very early. It's very apparent that he prioritizes switch advantage, and again, it looks like I'm just going to let him have it. Because look at this. Oh man, this is like painful to watch. Oh my gosh, he double shields the opening, which is so interesting. So I'm going to bring out my Lapras. I'm up 2 shields. I just need to land the Skull Bash. I do not want to get hit by another Frenzy Plant, so I'm just going to go straight Skull Bash. Just going to take out the Lapras. I loaded my lineup a little bit more anti-Vespiquen this time with Sudowoodo and Lapras in it, just have a little bit more play. He brings out his opposing Lapras. I've already got 1 defense boost, so honestly this is kind of over at this point because my Lapras is just going to go to town here. But he still has a very healthy Vespiquen. Skull Bash is the thing that's going to do the most damage, so I will shield up the Skull Bash. And then he's going to bring out his Vespiquen. I know this is going to be a power gem. But I don't want to get rid of my defense boost here. So I'm just going to stay in here and chip away at this Vespiquen as much as possible. The Ice Shards are hitting for super effective damage. Now I have to come out with my Umbreon and snarl this down. Yep. Oh, I aggressively switch out there because I actually survived that X-Scissor. Gonna be able to snarl it down and then just dump a bunch of foul plays into the Lapras and very confidently take this second game. The huge shield advantage that I had in the beginning was really able to pull out this win here. So gonna be able to take out this Lapras. cool. Go into a game 3. It's going to be very close. Venusaur, Lapras, and Sudowoodo. Again, I'm stacking my back line with 2 things that can handle Vespiquen, but I'm worried that he might not even bring Vespiquen this time. Venusaur, mirror match. Okay. All right. He's got a 1500 CP. I've got a 1498 CP. I'm just going to go straight for the Sludge Bomb here. He shields it. He like always shields my first charge move in this opening matchup. I should have recognized that sooner and been a little bit more bold with my shield baits here. And then look, what the heck happened here? I was 2 Vine Whips behind somehow. He got to a Sludge Bomb before I was 2 Vine Whips. I don't know what happened there, but some crazy lag happened in the game and I was literally 2 Vine Whips behind him. He double shields again, puts me in a horrible position. I was not super thrilled when that happened, to say the least. I don't know how I got 2 Vine Whips behind, but it's kind of crazy. I'm going to throw a Sludge Bomb here. Not enough to take it out. He's going to aggressively switch into Graveler. So I'm going to bring out my Sudowoodo. This is great that my Lapras doesn't have to be stuck against this Graveler. Going to Overfarm, and now I'm going to throw the Rock Slide, but I'm worried that the Venusaur is going to be able to come out and farm me down. I do not want that to happen. Do not want that to happen, so I'm going to be able to throw this Rock Slide. And then look what's in the back. It's a Lapras. Even though I have my own full health Lapras, as we know, in the mirror matches, it's whoever can get off the Skull Bash first is going to win. I know he's 1 Ice Shard ahead of me, but here's the thing. If I fail the sack swap, I lose. If I fail the sack swap, I lose. So he's able to get the Skull Bash off right there. Takes 8 Ice Shards the first time they get to Skull Bash, and then 7. And so I know I have to sack swap, but if I fail it, I lose. And so I see him pausing there, and I was going to try to like do it later, but there was, yeah, it was tough. Because if I fail the sack swap, I lose. And if I don't sack swap, I lose. So it's pretty risky. I lose that round. Good game, Dunebug. Definitely outplayed me. I don't know how I got 2 Vine Whips worth of energy behind you in the lead, but that's all right. Game's kind of laggy. Round 6 is up against J Mills, rocking Beedrill, Lapras, Sudowoodo, Umbreon, Venusaur, and Alolan Graveler. Lots of top-level players are running Alolan Graveler in this tournament, it seems. This is a favorable matchup for my Frostlass. Look at this. Oh my gosh, he catches an Avalanche on his Lapras. Amazing play. Amazing play. I'm going to bring out my Venusaur. And 1 Frenzy Plant is going to be able to take out this Lapras. I'm over farming because the Surf really isn't going to do that much damage. He shields up the Lapras, which is pretty interesting. But he is at like 2 Surfs. So I'm going to have to double shield here, actually. I'm going to let this go. I'm barely not able to get to Frenzy Plant. Oh, yikes. That's so bad. I'm thinking to myself, I don't think my Frostlass has any play here. Don't even know why why the heck did I bring Frostlass here, man? Against the Beedrill, it's kind of okay. Against the dude, don't bring in Frostlass. Why did I bring in Frostlass? That's a stupid move. Frostlass does not have that much play. Maybe I thought it would be cool and unexpected. It was unexpected. I didn't even expect it. That's a dumb decision. Oh man, this Frenzy Plant is gonna chip away a good amount. Oh my gosh, this Venusaur has so much freaking energy. I just have to let my Umbreon go. Gonna bring out Frostlass. What you gonna do here, Frostlass? Oh, it is a Beedrill in the back. Okay. So Frostlass actually has a decent amount of play against this line of 3 that he brought in, but against his team in general, doesn't have that good of matchups. He baits me with X-Scissor. Really great play on his part. And I should have went for Shadow Ball here. But I got scared and went for Avalanche, and it was not enough to KO. I thought it would have been enough, but I was able to Powder Snow him down, and then Powder Snow down the Venusaur, able to take the first game very close. Game 2 going in with Lapras, Umbreon, and Venusaur here. Looks like I left the Frostlass on the bench. Okay, bad lead for me. Yes, if I take this into the 2 shield, I can win this. But the Venusaur doesn't have to double shield if it doesn't want to. I tried to catch something on my Umbreon. It did not work, and now I'm just going to catch a lot of something on my Umbreon. Out comes Beedrill. I do have the energy advantage, so I'm going to be able to for sure throw 2 foul plays, and Beedrill is so glassy. If I had to choose one Pokemon on my team that I would never put on my Catacombs team again, it would be Beedrill. Just too frail. I think Vespiquen just does the jobs that Beedrill does, but it's a little bit more consistent and safer, because Beedrill for sure needs shields. He's going to be able to take me out with that X-Scissor. I'm able to farm it down. Venusaur still has some loaded energy though, which is unfortunate. So I'm just going to go for Surf here to get a little bit of chip damage off, but I don't think he shields. Yeah, he doesn't shield. Smart, no shield. I should have just built up to the Skull Bash, I guess. Oh no, I'm going to shield this up. And I would love to farm down that Venusaur, but not going to let it happen. And I'm so slow to the swap here. That's a huge mistake on my part. I should have just switched into Venusaur immediately. Because now this Lapras can probably just bait me. Oh, okay, I do correctly shield up this Skull Bash, which is really good for me. But it's the Ice Shards. It's the Ice Shards that are going to chunk me down. I get both shields. But Lapras is going to farm me down and be able to land a Skull Bash on my Lapras. This is really not good. I was 1 Ice Shard away from being able to do that. Oh, man. I'm going to throw the Skull Bash here. I was worried that he was going to try to make a sacrificial swap. But it is enough to take out the Lapras. Out comes the Venusaur. And I'm not able to Ice Shard it down. So close. So close. So we're going to a game 3 here. Why am I bringing in Frostlass again? Okay. Frostlass, Umbreon, Venusaur. Ay, ay, ay. Why am I bringing... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This is horrible. This is not a good matchup for Frostlass at all, because the Lapras's Surfs are really going to hurt. So I'm just going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. I need to chip this down a little bit, and then probably switch into my Umbreon. I'm trying to catch a move, but it did not work out. And so I bait out the Venusaur, which is really good, because now my Sudowoodo gets to avoid the Venusaur. Did I run Sudowoodo in the back or Venusaur in the back? Oh man, we're gonna have to look. I'm losing my mind already. But we get the Venusaur out on the field at least, and I should be able to get this low enough health that I can farm it down with my Frostlass. I might commit a shield here. Oh man, okay, because I survive and then I get off this foul play anyways. So I most likely will get a shield. Okay, gonna give up switch advantage. And then bring out the Beedrill to farm. Okay, I have to bring out my Frostlass against this, obviously. But this is going to allow my Venusaur to get aligned to the Lapras. How could I screw this up? I shield up the Drill Run. I'm going for the Avalanche. I'm worried that he's going to try to catch something on his Lapras there. And then he goes for the combo play with his Lapras. Really smart play. Why... Oh man, why did I shield up my... That's the mistake. Why did I shield up my Frostlass, man? That was a big mistake. And now the Skull Bash comes through just... And I'm not even able to get the Frenzy Plane off. Oh my gosh. And I can't Powder Snow it down! So we lose this! Wow, we made some major misplays. We did not deserve to win this set at all. Good games, J-Mills. Made some major misplays. So we're currently 4-2. We're going into round 7 against Tiwa still, rocking Sudowoodo, Umbreon, Venusaur, Vespiquen, Lapras, and Galvantula. Galvantula is very interesting. I definitely have not run into anyone running that in this tournament. This is a playable scenario, but most likely I'm just going to chip it down and then try to catch something on my Umbreon. I'm sure that I have Umbreon in this line. I run it in every single line. He's running Dark Pulse, which is interesting. It's going to be a little bit more energy cost, but it is going to do more damage. So that is something to be mindful of. I'm able to catch a Dark Pulse on my Umbreon, which is beautiful. And then, okay, he's going to switch in his own Venusaur here. Again, this is kind of a neutral, playable matchup here, so totally fine by me. Umbreon is just such a monster. I love Umbreon. Gonna be able to land another foul play here. Maybe running Dark Pulse for this specific matchup. I feel like if Umbreon just doubled Dark Pulses, that should be enough to take out the Venusaur. So I'm going to mirror shields here because I slightly outpaced Venusaur getting to these charge moves. But I over-tapped somehow, and now I have to double shield this, which I did not want to have to do. Oh, I did not want to have to do that at all. But I'm able to snarl down the Venusaur and like regain switch, I guess. But no, I did not want to have to do that. Gonna be able to get some last resorts off on the opposing Umbreon. I don't want to be farmed down, so I'm just gonna switch on my Lapras because the Venusaur is out of the picture. So, but he still has a shield. So I could have possibly baited right here. Honestly, this is kind of, I should have been bold and went for the bait. But this is for sure going to be a Skull Bash. And now my Skull Bashes are going to be hitting him, but his defense has already been boosted, so this is kind of rough. He's going to be able to double boost his Lapras, and then this thing is just going to turn into an absolute monster and be impossible to deal with. Because I think this Skull Bash is enough to KO me at this range. Nope, barely not, and I recognize that. I switch into my Venusaur. He very quickly switches into his Umbreon. Great play, but I wanted to get rid of the Umbreon anyways. Fine by me. This is going to be a Surf, and it's barely not going to KO me, but then I think he gets to Ice Shard me down, which is... Oh, I'm able to get to the Frenzy Plant barely. Just barely able to get to it and win the first game. Crazy close. It looked like he missed out on an Ice Shard there, which is unfortunate, laggy state of the game right now, man. But okay, very favorable lead for me. My Venusaur obviously needs to avoid this. Why am I staying in? Okay, I was trying to catch something with my own Venusaur. Okay, essentially what I did is I put his Venusaur in Sludge Bomb range. So now all I need to do is land a Sludge Bomb, and we're good here. All I need to do is land a Sludge Bomb, and we're good here. Sludge Bomb connects. Really good for me. Out comes Vespiquen. Probably going to fast move me down the entire way, but dude, this Sludge Bomb is no joke. This Sludge Bomb is no joke. It's going to hit for a lot of damage. And going to farm me all the way down. That is for sure the play. I need to be mindful of a Power Gem. I cannot bring out Umbreon into this. I have to bring out Lapras. Going to go straight for the Surf. This is probably CMP. It looks like I won it. Yeah, it was. This is worth shielding. Oh my gosh, I don't shield the Power Gem? What in the world? Okay. And I know this is just going to be an X Scissor. I don't think you can stack 2 Power Gems. Yo, those were some bold no shields. But I believe I still have a Surf stored on Lapras, which is going to be great for the Vespiquen. I'm assuming that Vespiquen is just absolutely out of energy because they just threw a Power Gem and an X Scissor. So this should be pretty solid here. Going to just throw the foul plays and chip down at this Lapras, but we are definitely in a good position here. We are even in shields. Umbreon is just a monster though. This is one of those matchups that just definitely takes a while because both Umbreon and Lapras are so freaking tanky. Umbreon definitely loses CMP to Lapras. I will shield up this Surf. I know that the Vespiquen is in the back with very minimal health, very minimal energy. Out comes the Vespiquen. Up a shield, fine by me. I know I'm going to get hit by an X Scissor, but that's totally fine. I have a Surf stored, so I'm going to burn the last shield with this foul play, go for the combo play with the Surf, and that will be a clean second game here, which solidifies me the round and solidifies me going 5-2 in my weighted. But we will see the third game as well, because I think I make some misplays. Oh, Frostlass. What are you doing, Frostlass? Stop bringing in Frostlass, man. I lose when I bring in Frost. Oh, worst possible lead. Absolute trash. So I'm just going to mirror with my Umbreon here. Out comes Vespiquen. Not good at all. Not good at all. Vespiquen is so bulky. See, I would much rather be dealing with a Beedrill right now, because I can actually end that in a shield advantage. But Vespiquen is too bulky. These foul plays just don't do quite enough. It takes like 3 foul plays plus the snarl damage to KO Vespiquen. So bulky, man. And very spammy with Fury Cutter and X Scissor. We're able to get to this foul play. I think this barely doesn't KO. I think I have to snarl it down. I get a shield there, which is really good. So I will take the shield advantage. Umbreon just consistently gives me a shield advantage using it as a safe swap. It's amazing. I'm going to bring out my Frostlass here. Aggressively Powder Snow this down. This could be a Power Gem. Oh, it's only an X Scissor. Okay. I know Fury Cutter regenerates energy very quickly. Out comes the freaking Umbreon again, and this is not super great. But I'm going to chip it away with Avalanche a little bit and then bring out my Venusaur. I'm assuming that since Vespiquen is out of the picture, Venusaur is going to have some positive matchups. I shield up a Dark Pulse. Questionable shield, because honestly the Sludge Bomb is going to do a little bit more damage than the Dark Pulse. So questionable shield for sure. I'm going to no-shield this. It is a Sludge Bomb. Unfortunate. Over farming here. Now I'm going to throw the Sludge Bomb. And it does get shielded, which is pretty interesting. Probably let this go. Oh, I'm going to shield that. Okay, and then bring out my front. That was a bad play. That was a bad play. And then I'm throwing an Avalanche here because I was worried that he was going to get to a Frenzy Plant. That was also a bad play. Really not good. Umbreon in the back. Froslass with no shields. This is absolute garbage. It's going to snarl me down, and he's for sure going to take this game. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, seeing the tournament recap video. I think I'll for sure finish within like the top 100 in the world for Silph, which I'm very satisfied with. I'm also looking forward to taking a little bit of a break from Silph for next month. But make sure to check it out. Head on over to silph.gg to check it out and see some tournaments. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.